For most people, the name Hitler is the ultimate symbol of evil, synonymous with war, genocide, and unspeakable horror. But behind that name, there was a family, a bloodline. One branch of that family escaped Germany and settled in the land of freedom, the United States. Backstory: Adolf Hitler had no children, but he wasn't an only child. He had half-brothers, and one of them, Alois Hitler Jr., had a son, William Patrick Hitler. Born in England to an Irish mother, William was Adolf Hitler's nephew, and in a strange twist of fate, he would end up living in America. Escaped from Europe in the 1930s, William Patrick visited Nazi Germany and even tried to benefit from his uncle's rise to power. But things turned sour. Suspicious of William's motives, Adolf eventually distanced himself. Fearing for his life, William fled first to England and then to the United States, just before World War II. The twist: William joins the U.S. Navy in a shocking move. Adolf Hitler's own nephew joined the U.S. Navy. To fight against the Nazis? Yes, you heard that right. William Patrick Hitler served in the American military, actively opposing his uncle's regime during World War II. It was one of the strangest twists in the entire war. Hidden life in America after the war, William changed his last name. He married, had children, and lived in total secrecy in Long Island. New York, the name Hitler disappeared, but the bloodline did not. His children, Adolf Hitler's great-nephews, grew up under a shroud of silence, refusing to speak publicly about their ancestry. A family pact, according to reports. The sons of William Patrick made a quiet pact. A decision that the Hitler bloodline should end with them. None of them had children. They refused to continue the name or the legacy. A silent ending to a nightmare family history. Why this matters? But why does this story matter? Because history is not just about battles and borders. It's about people. It's about identity, shame, survival, and choices. What do you do when your last name carries the weight of 6 million murdered souls? What does redemption even look like? It's a psychological perspective. For the Hitler family in America, the answer was silence. Total withdrawal from public life. No interviews, no memoirs. Just a quiet disappearance into ordinary American suburbia. But behind that silence, there must have been a storm, a lifelong burden no one could fully understand. The American irony: ironically, the last living relatives of Adolf Hitler were not fanatics or fugitives. They were Americans living in a democracy built on freedom, equality, and resistance to tyranny. A poetic contradiction to everything the Nazi regime stood for. Legacy, not genetics. This story reminds us that evil is not genetic. The sins of the uncle were not passed to the nephew. And even the darkest name in history can end with war, but with a choice. A quiet human choice. To leave the past behind. If this story moved you, share it. Because history isn't just about remembering what happened. It's about making sure it never happens again. Subscribe for more powerful stories from the shadows of history.